Now we shall be discussing what are the different kinds of the neural tube defects. Neural tube defects is one of the very important part of the anatomy which you have to know. Look at this picture. In this picture we have got three germ layer. Okay, here this is the ectoderm. This germ layer is you see here, and this part is mesoderm. Okay, this is a mesoderm, this part in the center, and this is the endoderm, this part down over here. Ectoderm outer part and middle part is in the center part is a mesoderm, and the inner part that down over here is the endoderm. Okay, this is the endoderm. So how many parts we got here is the ectoderm, mesoderm and the endoderm. Okay, so and what are these cells? These are cells on the either side, here also, here also. These cells on the either side are called as the neural crest cells. Okay, cells on the either side we called as the neural crest cells, and this red anti-C, this is called the notochord. This is the notochord, and this is the precursor of the neural tube. This is the precursor of the neural tube. Now what will happen in the next stage of development is that within the precursors of the neural crest cells, within the precursors of the neural crest cells, there are small depression you can see. This is the small depression. So this is invagination or depression you see here. See a small groove formed. This groove is called as the neural groove. What is happening here is the neural crest cells of left and the right side are pulling each other like a magnet. So when they both come towards each other, a complete circle is formed. Here we see in this picture, the left and right neural crest cells are pulling each other, and this complete circle has been formed. Okay, so whatever is formed right now over here, this is neural tube, and this is the one. What is this here? This is CSF. And where is the first CSF is formed? Who is forming the first CSF? Normally, right nerve in my body, my brain is formed by the choroid plexus, right? But during day 20, who is forming the CSF? The amniotic fluid itself is forming the CSF. So the first CSF is formed by the amniotic fluid. Okay, so the first CSF is formed by the amniotic fluid. Later on, choroid plexus forms the CSF. So what did I tell you here is, there are the important things over here is, so what will this neural tube will develop into future, and what these neural crest cells will develop into future. That in future what neural tube and neural crest cells will develop. So in neural tube, in the future, neural tube will develop as a CNS, and a neural crest in the future will develop as the PNS. Okay. Now before we discuss about the neural tube defects, let me finish one small point regarding the neural crest cells. So there are some specific types of neural crest cells. So when these neural crest cells fail to migrate caudally to the distal colon, that is descending part of the colon. What do I mean by that is this is the ascending colon, this is the transverse colon, and this is the descending colon, and this red cells is the neural crest cells. Okay, normally neural crest cells, they start migrating down to the colon. What they are doing, they are forming the nervous system in the colon. What is this nervous system? I am not going to tell you in detail about. I am just telling is that is what Auerbach plexus, that is the enteric nervous system. This enteric nervous system is formed by the Auerbach plexus. See here. So this enteric nervous system is formed by the neural crest cells. Normally neural crest cells are the migrating migrating down, and these neural crest cells are forming enteric nervous system. But sometimes it might happen like that all the neural crest cells are forming enteric nervous system. Here are forming the enteric nervous system. So why do we need the enteric nervous system? Without this enteric nervous system, how do you think is the colon will contract? How there will be peristalsis? If there is no peristalsis, the fecal matter will not go forward, yes or no? So you need peristalsis means you need nervous system. And if you want the neural crest cells, then neural crest cells should migrate here. So what will happen here is this problem is usually happens between 4th to 7th week of development. See, this neural crest cells are migrating, and during the 4th to 7th week of development, the neural crest cells stop migrating, okay? They stop migrating. Then do you think that the distal part of the colon will contract? If there are nervous system that is formed, if nervous system is not formed, do you think that distal part of the colon cannot go peristalsis? What it will cannot, when it will cannot undergo peristalsis, then what will happen? The fecal matter is there, it gets accumulated in the distal colon, and once the fecal matter gets accumulated in the distal colon, and this entire distal colon will swell out like a balloon, like this, like a balloon. This entire colon will, distal colon, descending colon will swell like a balloon. So what is this entire distal colon consisting of? This entire distal colon is consisting of a fecal matter, consisting of the fecal matter, and this condition is called as the toxic megacolon. And this condition is called as a toxic megacolon. Because of this toxic megacolon, what is happening is the abdomen will be distended. And now another important thing is that in this condition, what is happening here is there is a failure of the neural crest cells to migrate caudally. Where? To your distal colon, to your distal colon. This condition is called as the Hirschsprung disease. So what is this Hirschsprung disease? Failure of the neural crest cells to migrate caudally during the 4th to 7th week of development to the distal colon. This would lead to the formation of the toxic megacolon. So here we talk about the neural crest cells. Thank you.